So, are you ready? First thing I want to do is get my ass under there. See if I can remove it. Shouldn't be too hard to get off. Because of stainless steel. Yeah, see how much easier that is. Now what I want to do first, I want to do is put a rope around this end of the bumper here and tie it to the tire bracket so that this thing doesn't drop down on me. What I'm going to do is to loosen all 4 nuts and take them off and then just pull the bumper. Now that is a bumper that I got from a local junkyard. They ordered it new for me. I remember telling you that, and there was videos on it. And it's one of these Chinese bumpers, and it has the holes in it for the rubber, which you cannot get. I hope this sun isn't in the lens. Chinese junk. Now I was just looking on the back of this. It's already rusting on the inside. So what I'm going to do, I got a little bit of undercoating left. When I take this bumper off, I'm going to hit it with self-etching primer very quickly in the back, and then I'm going to spray a light coat of undercoating on the inside of this. So the first things first, we're going to get the nuts off. Get the nuts off. Let's see, we got a ratcheting 3/4. Yeah. Beautiful. You can't beat that. Stainless steel. Stainless steel, no rust. That's what you want. If I had used regular steel bolts, which I'm not able to get, you can't get bumper bolts anymore. I've tried. I would have. I don't want to mess around with that now because I don't want that thing falling off at that end. We'll leave these just like that. We'll go loosen the other side here. Oh yeah, nice. And I put on a little bit of WD-40 on the bolts about an hour ago, just to make it a little easier to come on. There isn't a lot of room under here to work with the let me show you. I'll take my camera right here. Let me take you underneath here. There isn't a lot of room to work because you got this motor mount right here, a body mount right here, so you can't get a deep well socket in there. You can only get a box wrench in there on a top bolt. Bottom one you can. Over here on the left side, as you can see, I've got both nuts off, and just the lock washers are in place right now. And all the hardware is stainless steel. And this is what I don't care what anybody says, stainless steel is the best thing to use for bolts. If you want to get them off again. That's what I used to use years ago when I put the exhaust manifold on the 318 on the 70 Dodge Polara years ago that we had. I use stainless steel bolts for the manifold bolts when I put the exhaust manifold back on, and that worked out really well, able to get it off very easily. I'll try to get my I got a deep well socket. I don't have a deep well half-inch impact. I don't have that, but the problem with the deep well is, as I said, the top bolt, which is loose now anyways, the top bolt is right up against, you know, it's only about a half-inch from the body mount, so you can't get this in there. There's just not enough room, so you have to use a low profile or a box wrench, and that's what we're going to do here. On the bottom, it's perfect. I can take it hand tight out. My local hardware store had the stainless steel bolts. When I got this bumper, I got the carriage bolts, stainless steel, so they're close to matching the chrome. And you never have to worry about them rusting out. Alright. Now, what I'm going to do is take the washers off. I'm going to leave the bolts in. So I can get the lock washers off of here. The lock washers are also stainless. Okay. Now, we do the same to this one. We don't lose them. Alright, now from the outside we'll just pull this off. And I got this rope on here. Let me... Alright. I got this rope on here just in case it dropped on me. But we don't have to do that now. We can take the rope off. This is just a safety thing in case it dropped down on one end. Bumper's really not that heavy. So it's ready to fall off any second here. Alright. Okay. Okay, now I want to show you in here. Alright, look at that. That bumper's what? 2 years old, 3 years old? It's already rusted out inside. Outside, it's fine so far, but it won't last. Yeah, Chinese junk. But I'm gonna sand this lightly. I could put rust reformer in there. I could do that. Put rust reformer in there, but I don't have much faith in this stuff, to tell you the truth. I'd rather hit it with undercoating, because that's an oil base. Alright. Anyways. Very solid. That's a beeper I put in years ago for backing up. Alright, see now I'll be able to get at these places, and this is worse. I wasn't expecting to do anything on this side, which means the bumper will have to come off again. But here is the section here. You can see that I wasn't able to do much with the old bumper on. I need to get this pushed in so it's like this here, over to this area here. Deciding which way to go on this. First of all, I took a wire brush and 3 times I went over this, and then I took some real coarse sandpaper and went over it 3 or 4 times and wiped it all out good. And this is basically it. Now, what I decided to do is use a self-etching primer on the inside of this. That'll dry quick. And then I'm going to hit it with the undercoating. The problem with the undercoating is it's going to be very messy putting it on because it won't dry that quick, and I'll be a mess getting it on. But the bumpers are going to be off for a few hours. I'm hoping that it will dry up enough that I could handle it, and I'll try not to put too much on because it's going to come through these holes here too, and I'll try not to get too much in there. So that's what I'm going to do now. First of all, we're going to hit it with the self-etching primer. That dries real quick. And then we'll hit it with the undercoating on the inside. I really should have undercoated this bumper before I had it put on, but I had this put on by the garage because I had to have the old one burnt off, as I showed in one of my earlier videos a few years ago. Okay, while that's drying, we're going to just let that sit there. We're going back out to the van now and concentrate on the major work we got ahead of us out there. Alright, first of all I want to draw a straight line from the bottom of this door over to here, so I know how much to punch in on this. I'm hoping that I can bang this in. I don't know how successful I'll be, but we got a straight edge going up under here, so we need to punch that in so that the bumper won't be hitting here. This is going to have a recess just like this area here, because this is built up too much. The reason I had to do that is because I couldn't work with the old bumper there, and if you look back on those videos, let's see, no, I had that series removed, that particular one also. I wasn't able to get the old bumper off. I had to work around it, and that's why it looks like this. So what I'm going to do here, and I can't find my ball peen hammer, so we got to use a regular carpenter's hammer, and I've got a big chisel, but it's not too sharp. I'm going to try to use that, you know, to bang this in together with this bar of steel. This bar of steel here was my dad's. He had that. He used to use it like an anvil. And probably with this 2-pound hammer here, I might be able. I'm going to knock Bondo off, but it don't matter because I'm going to be working on it anyways. And I'm left-handed, so I gotta get myself around the other side here. Okay. First of all, let's try it with this here. Not going to go so hard that I'm going to cut through the metal. I just want to bring it in a little.
I was waltzing with my darling to the Tennessee waltz at the annual fireman's ball. Everybody kept staring 'cause my wife was wearing a newspaper dress, that was all. She had comic strips from her knees to her hips. Where her want ads were, I don't recall. Her dress caught on fire, burned her entire front page sports section and all.
Okay. I gotta go check the other side and see how the depression looks on this side. On the driver's side, yeah, it's depressed up to the corner, then it's flat out here. Alright, so we know we got to bang this in. You see how the look I'm trying to get is even with the door. So I got to bring on the right side, I got to bring it up, and I'll have to do it with Bondo, maybe even sheet metal, so we don't use too much Bondo in there. But we got to bang this in to the corner.